I greet you, champions. I welcome you to Live with Chatufa. We are live and you are watching us wherever you are, knowing that this is the freedom that is coming, the freedom that we have been praying for and believing God for, and it is coming. We are ready for it. We welcome you to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. We are looking at issues that are happening in the nation. A lot is happening, and we want to continue to come here, highlight the issues in the nation, discuss the issues, and we continue to find out how God is making it possible that our journey to the freedom of the Zimbabwean people is now. For this is the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. For those that are joining us on the show for the very first time, please always subscribe to the channel, like, and also share. It is very, very important for you to do that, because you will not be missing some of the shows that we are doing on this very channel. So thank you very much for doing that. We are looking at what ZANU PF is doing, as ZANU PF is threatening Manicaland villagers who remain in homes when Mnangagwa comes for Independence Day celebration. Remember, the Independence Day celebrations from beginning the time of Mnangagwa, they've started to be circulating around provinces. And this time around, they will be in Manicaland province. And the party that claims to be loved by people, the party that claims to be very popular, the party that claims that Zimbabweans vote for it, look at what they are doing. They are threatening citizens of Zimbabwe, threatening villagers with unspecified action if ever these villagers do not come out of their houses to go and attend the rally where Mnangagwa is going to be speaking. And it is very unfortunate that we continue to have Zimbabweans being threatened in their own country by politicians who are not supposed to be threatening citizens, who are actually servants to the citizens of Zimbabwe. So I would want us to just look at a tweet that we have from the Newsday, and we look at what is happening. We are also going to be reading a piece of that story from the Newsday newspaper itself. And here, the tweet from Newsday Zimbabwe says, Manicaland Provincial Affairs Minister Mishek Mugadza has sent a chilling warning that no one should remain at home in Buera when President Mnangagwa visits the Independence Day celebrations next month. And it is a very sad development when we find that these people, elected officials that have been elected to be serving the people of Zimbabwe, instead they find themselves threatening Zimbabweans, especially for political expedience. And it is really, really not the Zimbabwe that we want. When we talk about a new Zimbabwe, we are talking about a totally different Zimbabwe that is tolerant, a totally different Zimbabwe that is politicians who respect the citizens. So I would want us to just read the story from the paper itself. It says, government sends chilling warning to Boera villagers. And this is the foolish minister. Look at him. They think that they are so special. There's nothing that is special about these guys. They are all just thieves and murderers. They belong to Chikrubi prison, and they are here terrorizing the Zimbabwean people. But unfortunately, it is coming to an end, because the end of ZANU PF is now, and we are not apologetic about it. We are sending these guys to prison, and they are going to pay for what they are doing to the Zimbabwean people. So Manicaland Provincial Affairs Minister Mishek Mugadza has sent a chilling warning that no one should remain at home in Buera when President Emerson Mnangagwa visits the Independence Day celebration next month. Mugadza made the remarks while addressing various church denominations at Murambinta Growth Point on Saturday during a national prayer day in preparation of the Independence Day celebration. Just imagine the language that you are threatening citizens, and at the same time you are talking about a national day of prayer. Does that go hand in hand and glove? How can you be talking about prayer? You are telling people that you are on a day of prayer, and during that very day of prayer, you are threatening citizens with unspecified action if they do not leave their homes to go and attend Emerson Mnangagwa. Why do these people play with God? You know, ZANU PF politicians, they play with God, and this is the reason why God is going to make sure that ZANU PF falls with a calamity. I am telling you, because these people have dared God for a very, very long time. These people have blasphemed our God for a very, very long time. You wonder why you find Emerson Mnangagwa calling for days of prayer at the State House. While at the State House, and they are busy having their prayers. Police will be beating up people in town. Police will be arresting. Their ferret team will be abducting somebody somewhere and torturing the individuals. And yet Mnangagwa and his wife and those bootlicking pastors of his will be busy at State House saying they are celebrating a day of prayer. These are the things that are costing ZANU-PF's very existence, because God is fed up with what ZANU-PF has done for a very long time. So ZANU-PF National Chairperson Opam Chinkuru was the guest of honor. Murambinda Growth Point, where poverty and underdevelopment abound, will host the celebration, during which Mnangagwa will be guest of honor. The commemorations will be held under the theme ZIM 844, Unity, Peace and Development Towards Vision 2030. And you see, he's already running with his third term philosophy. And yet, this is not going to happen anyway. Mugadza, the ZANU-PF Mutasa South Member of Parliament, said during the Independence Day celebration, no one should be seen at home. If you are seen at home, you are a thief. Just imagine. How does this marry? How does this go together? Somebody who decides they are busy or they are sick or they cannot attend for whatever reasons that they have, why are they being called a thief? There are now fears that villagers and residents in Murampinda will be frog-marched to the celebrations, as national events are increasingly being turned into impromptu ZANU-PF rallies. That's exactly what we were saying. If you remember last time, we were talking about the same issue, the issue of the youth day that was turned already by Mnangagwa into a ZANU-PF rally. These are supposed to be national events. If the whole nation is coming there, it's not supposed to be a ZANU-PF thing. You see what ZANU-PF has just done? Everything in Zimbabwe has just turned ZANU-PF. The police have turned ZANU-PF. The courts of Zimbabwe have turned ZANU-PF. The army has turned ZANU-PF. The food parcels that are coming from government, they've turned ZANU-PF. Everything is just ZANU-PF. National events like the independence celebration are supposed to be for all citizens of Zimbabwe. And there's not supposed to be anyone who is talking about a political party, because it's a national thing. It involves people that are of the opposition, people that are of ZANU-PF, and people that don't belong to any political party, because it is a right of every citizen not to join any political party if they so wish. They want to remain apolitical. It is just very, very correct for any citizen to distance themselves from politicians and political parties. But look, ZANU-PF, because they know that they are not wanted, they are not liked by Zimbabweans, they cannot be voted by ZANU-PF, by Zimbabwean people, they frog march people to such events. They force people to go there. A whole MP voted by the same people that is coming back today telling those people that if you don't go for that rally, you are a thief. Thief in what aspect? In what respect? How does that come to classify somebody as a thief for not attending that ZANU-PF day that is supposed to be a national day? You see, it is so sad that the nation has drifted into this kind of nation. This is why we say we need freedom. Zimbabwean people, they must continue to demand freedom from ZANU-PF. We cannot expect a country that does not respect its citizens. We cannot expect to have politicians who are disrespecting our elderly people, the sickly people, those that are, for one reason or the other, may not be able to attend that rally. You see, the whole issue here is that ZANU-PF, they do understand that Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF are very unfavorable. And they know that they cheated in the elections. They did not win. So if they don't frog march people, there is going to be an embarrassment on that very day, because nobody is going to show up there. And it is going to prove that all those figures and the numbers and all those election victory claims that they were talking about in Boera, they did not win in all those areas. And also, it is going to be an embarrassment for Emmerson Mnangagwa to be talking to an empty ground where people have not attended. And look, now it's like when you see them doing this, they are not ready to be busing a lot of people to that event. That's why they want 100% of the local people attending. So this has been the situation that we are experiencing in the country. And Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF, they can continue to lie to themselves as much as they want to claim that they are wanted by people, they are loved by people, when they gather people that they frog march and threaten. Each time that they will now come and Varakash, now parading those photos and videos on social media and on Twitter, they'll be saying, look at the crowds. ED is loved. ZANU-PF is home for everyone, things like that. They'll be just using propaganda, to claim that they are wanted by the people of Zimbabwe. But ZANU-PF, they know it deep down inside their hearts. They know that, you know what, guys, we are disliked by Zimbabweans. All that they are doing is just forcing, frog marching people, threatening people, beating up people to go and attend, closing up people's businesses and shops, like what we saw last time when Barbara Rodzi had that rally in Chirumanzo. You still remember? And they were frog marching people there. And one other thing that they are doing, that is they want to make sure that everyone is there so that they can start to make statistics in case they need to know exactly who is who before any eventuality that can come, that can take place. Remember, there's the possibility again that elections can end up being held. But ZANU-PF would want to make sure that they've already tuned everyone, whipped everyone into line, threatened everyone enough, or the citizens of Zimbabwe are already threatened enough. So ZANU-PF is surviving with a hook and a crook. Everything of theirs is just a hook and crook. There's nothing that is straightforward about ZANU-PF. It's all just a big lie. When you see them gathering people, it's a big lie. When they do events, those events are not what they mean. They are actually doing something else that is different from what they are talking about there. Whenever they are supposed to be, giving a message to the people, whatever message that they will be giving there is a big lie. It's not even the truth. They lie about the food situation in the country. They lie about the economy. They lie about almost everything. So how long shall you get to ZANU-PF? Because lies have short legs. They will never reach any far. Right now, you are so exposed. ZANU-PF is so exposed to literally everyone. All Zimbabweans now do know that ZANU-PF, they are surviving on propaganda. And we are going to be watching and seeing. In the very next show, we are going to be talking about the same propaganda that they are using with Wikino Chivayo. They have seen that Chivayo has been exposed, especially after all that he has done with the car issues. And they've started to try and, propagate a lot of propaganda to try and cover up for his character, for having taken 20 million from ZESA and they've done totally nothing about the Gwanda electricity or Gwanda solar panel project. So we are going to be looking at that in the very next show. And I'm going to be showing you how ZANU-PF is running with propaganda to try and close up the gaps. But, lying will never get far because truth eventually will just come out. So we need to continue standing as citizens and as intercessors to pray for a nation that we want. This is not the Zimbabwe that we want. These are not the leaders that we want. So the fight must continue. We are fighting and we are standing and declaring freedom for the Zimbabwean people. We are standing as intercessors in prayer to make sure that the promise of God for the Zimbabwean, for the new great Zimbabwe, is manifested in this season. So citizens, never get tired. Don't be fooled by ZANU-PF. They know it. That's why they force people. They know the truth. That's why they pretend and lie. But we are standing to say, aluta, aluta, aluta continua. Zimbabwe needs to be free, and Zimbabwe is definitely going to be freed from these hooligans, these thieves, and all these liars. They've lied enough, and now the time for truth and for the real freedom of the Zimbabwean people to come. Not that freedom, that independence they are talking about on 18 April. That's not independence. That's not independence. That independence did not bring freedom. It was just independent that Zimbabwe is running itself, is administering or governing itself, but it did not bring freedom. So independence with no freedom is no independence at all. We want freedom for the Zimbabwean people. They must be able to choose whether they want to go to that event or not. And nobody must be victimized about that. Until that shall happen, we shall continue standing and fighting until we see a country that will tolerate the choices and the will of the Zimbabwean people. We don't want any politician who is going to force himself on any citizen. Until that shall happen, Zimbabwe will still not be free. but definitely we are getting into the new great Zimbabwe, because the blue train is on the move, and very, very soon, I'm telling you, Zimbabwe is coming. We just want to hear what one or two of our family members are saying here. Duncan says, Rakupenga idi kana atadza kutonga nyika ngarege nonsense. Zimbabwe rababa risina kukwana. Because yes, people who end up venting their anger on him, and then Varakasho start to say people are being disrespectful. But who would respect a people like this? Who would respect a minister like that fool? We will call him a fool, and we don't even regret, because you don't treat our parents like that. You don't treat our old people, the villagers. We've got some people that have situations in their homes that cannot allow them to leave the homes. Maybe they have sick people in the home. They cannot afford to be leaving sick people just to go and attend that foolish Mnangagwa rally. For what reason? And then you want to threaten those people. So when we start to come back and we start telling you categorically who you are, don't say that Zimbabweans are disrespectful. Right? Isabel says, honestly, don't know what ED wants to turn this country into. It's sad, really. It's sad. Caleb Makuya says, welcome, Chatufa. Good day, be guided by the Almighty. Aluta, continue. Aluta, my brother. Continuity in fighting Zimbabwe for the great Zimbabwe is what we are going to do. We are not going back. Someone is saying they are a minority. The big majority of citizens do not support ZANU-PF. It's time to confront them. Yes, it is time that ZANU-PF must be shown the middle finger. They must just go. We don't want to see them. We are tired and sick and tired of them. Azvine says, ngasa manikidze vanhu nekuti munhu anoenda kana achida. Yes, we need new leaders. Hashtag new leaders. Definitely, I do agree with you. Munhu anofanira kuenda achida. No one must be forced to do anything by politicians. Zimbabweans deserve better. And we deserve a freedom, a country that has freedom for people's choices. People must choose what they want and do what they want whenever they want. No one is supposed to be forced, but it's coming. Don't worry, weep not, cry not, Zimbabwe, for the freedom of the Zimbabwean people has come. God is in it, and God is definitely delivering the Zimbabwe that we want. So family, I would want to appreciate you for joining me. Let us meet in the next show. It's going to be very close, I'm sure, around 3:15. We are going to be touching yet another story. So stay tuned. We are going to be meeting there. As of now, shalom, shalom, and I sign out.